All right, all right. Welcome back. It is my Legally Blind Journal, number 24. And some things have changed a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to kind of talk through that this morning and keep on rolling, keep on smiling. So, if you can see the pictures, I know some people listen to this on a podcast as well, so I like to describe it. But the weekly vision test that I do, basically I look at the chart in the upper left-hand corner of the picture, which is the eye chart, and I'm looking at the rather large R that's on there. And I had been holding pretty steady at around 14 to 15 inches to be able to see the R with pretty decent clarity. And I've been noticing over the last several weeks that I could still make it out, but it was, there's a little more haze, a little more fuzz to it around that 14, 15, but I could still make it out. And then I started noticing that while driving down the road, that the big yellow signs on the side of the road that are shaped like a diamond, with a big black plus sign on them, and are basically saying, there's a crossroad ahead, that they've been getting harder and harder for me to discern as my spouse was driving, what they were, what was on them. And so at any rate, it's pretty much now at the point that I can't really tell what it is. I know that it's yellow. I know that it's got black contrast to it. But as she's driving by, I can't figure what that is normally. Every once in a while, I'll get a glimpse, but mostly I can't now. And that's a change. I've noticed that on the farther vision that, things that I could get a glimpse of every now and again, or make heads or tails of, that's kind of faded off. So on the close-up side, this morning, I was trying to push it out to that 14 to 15, and it's I can still tell it's an R, but it is definitely way too challenging to figure that. Where it's about the same clarity that it was before at 14 to 15, I'm hovering somewhere in between 11 and 12 to 11 and 13. Just really depends on exactly how it hits. So, if I had to give it a call, I'd say probably 12 to 13-ish. Pretty much was able to, it's not like it's a baseball game here. But at any rate, the vision pretty much was holding steady at about 14 to 15, and it held there for a few months, which was great. A little over 3 months, I think. And so the slide was, it's going to happen. Hopefully, we stabilize out around this 12 to 13 mark for a very long time, but whatever it is, I'll deal with it and we'll keep moving. Does no good to worry, does no good to cry in your soup, if you will. It's just continue to find new ways to do old things. So, all right, well, enough about that. Finding new ways to do old things. So in the top center of the pictures, there is a black countertop with a little bit of light white speckles, but not much. It's basically a black countertop. And so I took a white cutting board. And this is a visual aid that I have. On one side, it's a black cutting board, and you flip it over, it's a white cutting board. So you can create a contrast against most surfaces, which is awesome. So I needed to make some press-it loops for camping out of the materials that my buddy had gotten me. So they are black with silver inlay, highly reflective, which is awesome, but black on a black counter, not going to work. So I grabbed the cutting board, flipped it over to white, threw it down, and made for some awesome contrast. So I was able to make the compressets. Granted, my depth perception being a bit off and my peripheral not being there does create havoc when you're trying to use a lighter to melt the ends and not really realizing how close or how far you are sometimes when it gets to be that intricate. I burnt myself quite a few times during the process. And if you go, well, why didn't you wear gloves? Well, because you got to feel this thing. It's small. I mean, it's not super small. It's bigger rope, but there's smaller knots and things like that. And I wouldn't have been able to get the dexterity needed to do it with gloves. So, it is what it is. Finding new ways to do old things. It took a little longer than it would have when I wasn't visually impaired, but got it done, and that was awesome. So, and in the upper right hand corner, basically that's just me sitting on the tractor. But the reason why that's down there is because I'm wearing a hat and I'm wearing safety glasses, and I pretty much, if I'm not at the house, I wear sunglasses mass majority of the time for a couple of reasons. One is because it helps knock the shinies down, the things where my eyes are trying to focus, which gives me massive headaches. I wear sunglasses when I'm working on the computers now because the changes in glare that I can't control if someone shares their screen or something or different reasons, it just really, really hurts. So, and that helps a ton. But even when I'm in an environment where I don't have those things, if I'm out on the farm, for instance, and it's not too bright out, I'll wear the safety glasses, and I'll wear the hat. And the hat is an early warning system if I'm walking around, and I have the land memorized, so I'm not using my cane right there. I have every pothole, divot, every transition memorized. I've been working to flatten it more and more and get it as flat as humanly possible and packed it out. That said, though, trees grow, things move. So the hat helps me to, basically walk into something, hit the hat first and not my face first. And then the safety glasses, really simple. I don't need to poke my eyes out. My eyes may not be great, but they're better than not having them. So I wear the safety glasses because I can't always know where things are at, and they kind of jump up out of me, especially with the peripheral. If I make a turn to the right or to the left, a lot of times I don't see what's there. I think nothing's there, and when I take that first step, then I get a stick in the eye, if you will, if I'm not wearing the safety glasses. So I always wear those when I'm out there, which is just a good point. The shades or safety glasses, they serve multiple purposes for me being blind, and they help a ton with that. Moving to the bottom center picture here, finally in the bottom right, we got the barn up. It's a 20 by 20 metal building, enclosed with an awning to the right that's enclosed on three sides that goes out, I think 7 or 8 feet, can't remember now, away from the building, and it's the 20 feet deep, of course. And on the left side, it's open, and again goes out the same amount of feet, 7 or 8 feet away from the building, so it's balanced. So in the center picture in the bottom, there's some erosion issues and things that I was working on, and I've got to be more careful. I'm going to start with that. I got to be a lot more careful. And even with careful, things are going to happen, but I was trying to put the dirt down in the corner of the building there, brand new building, and luckily I was being super, super slow, but I thought I was about a foot off the building, maybe 6 inches, somewhere in there. And as I started to twist the bucket, I heard, nah, I wasn't a foot, I wasn't 6 inches. I had luckily stopped, literally touching the building. I didn't dent the building. It didn't even, thank God, didn't scratch it even, as I stopped as soon as I heard the sound. But the bucket was literally touching the back corner. So that could have been really, really bad. So I need to be so much more careful with that. I thought I had at least 6 more inches, but I didn't. And that goes back to that depth perception deal. And then on the right hand side of the picture, there's a retaining wall on the ground, a concrete wall. And I got to be careful that I don't hit that and knock it down because it would take the awning out. And so, at any rate, when I was filling in the dirt, again, I thought I was off the wall by probably about, I knew it was close, but I thought I was away from it maybe 3 to 6 inches. And then I heard the bucket scrape against the concrete. And I was like, ooh, nope, not 3 to 6 inches. I'm touching the thing. And for me, that's that whole depth perception mixed with the peripheral ish, not having a lot of my peripheral anymore, mixed with the focus thing, and or being able to see clearly out at a distance is not there, obviously. So I've got to figure out a new way to do an old thing. I've been looking at different things. I can hold my cell phone up and zoom in, and that obviously solves a lot of that, but it's a little bit challenging. I'm looking into there's basically a monocular. Basically, it's like binoculars, but it's got a digital screen, almost like a cell phone screen, and it's mounted on. You can mount it onto a helmet. You can mount it onto these head straps, where you can flip it up and flip it down, kind of like the military NVGs work, and that way, it wouldn't be such a problem, and I would still have hands-free essentially use, where I could, if I'm in that situation where I need to get up close to something, and whatnot, rather than thinking I'm 3 inches away and I'm touching it, and then I end up knocking the building down or something crazy, I could just flip that down, use it to magnify out, to zoom out basically to that spot, and double check and triple check myself, and then flip it up, flip it down, flip it up. So I'm thinking hard about that. They're about $400 or $500, which is not nothing. That's why I hadn't done it yet. But I'm thinking that could be a way to solve, a new solution for an old problem. But right now I'm being super, super careful. That said, human being, man. In the lower right-hand picture, the far right-hand side, which is an enclosed awning, 3 sides. The first time I drove the tractor in, not thinking about the fact that my peripheral is largely gone. I think 40% or something is gone, roughly. Not thinking about that, and not thinking about the depth perception be off just a little bit. I just drove it in, relying on my visual cues, which aren't there anymore. To be clear, they're not, but sometimes you forget. And I got lucky. I got real lucky, because when I drove it in, I didn't hit anything. I parked it perfect, all that. And when I got off the tractor, I looked up at the roof and I went, "Oh crap! I did not stop and approach this as I am blind, and look and go real slow, and use something to tactilely reach out or do anything. I just assumed I was good and drove in. And the thing is, that thing comes down at an angle, and then there's cross braces out at the ends, and I could have very easily, if I'd have been over another foot to the right, the canopy, the rollover protection bar, ROPS system, could have easily clipped the crossbeam, and it'd have damaged the building or took it down. And I wasn't going as slow as I should have either. So I've just got to be more mindful. It's a new thing in the environment, and with a lot of stuff when you're blind, if the environment changes, you got to learn where things are at and how they're oriented and whatnot. And this building's no different. So in closing, vision's changed after being stable for 3-4 months. It is what it is. Not like it's a surprise that it happened. I'm not going to say it doesn't, suck. You got to get over that part of it. And I am, for the most part. But, I did wait a week or two to post this update, as it's been, harder and harder and fuzzier. But why? Well, I was probably hoping, I was just tired or stressed, or I didn't take enough breaks or whatnot during those times that I checked it. But the reality is, with the road signs on the side of the road doing what they're doing, plus, I mean, this is several weeks in a row of testing that I'm pretty much coming out about the same here. I just have to, I had to accept that it is what it is. It's dropped some. So we'll keep moving, keep smiling, keep rolling. I mean, nothing changes other than got to do everything a little different. And yeah, keep on rocking and rolling, man. All right. Well, y'all be good out there. We'll keep on going. Talk to you later. Peace out, Girl Scout.